Hello everyone, so good to see you again. Welcome to my channel. Here we preach about doing things the right way, and we always maintain that the shortest route to any destination is the right route. While some people say that the window can also be considered as an entrance, we say that even if the homeowner decides to enter his own home through the window, he can be mistaken for a thief. So let's do things the right way. Save ourselves the stress that comes with always trying to find the shortcuts of getting things done. In today's discussion, we are going to see the role visa agents play in our visa applications, and we are actually going to focus on the part that the mistakes they do can be so costly that we never finish paying for the mistakes these visa agents do. Now, when we talk about traveling, getting the visa is not the end of it all. It is actually the beginning of it all. So it doesn't end after getting the visa. Perhaps if getting the visa was the end of it all, we wouldn't have had any issues with travel agents at all, because most of them are able to get us the visa. But what happens after getting the visa? Let me hasten to say that not all travel agents are in this category. Some are doing very well, some are doing the right thing, some are licensed. But in this video, we are going to talk mostly about the unlicensed ones who do things their own way just to get you the visa, and then you are on your own. Kindly do well to subscribe to this channel if you have not done that yet. Today's video was actually inspired by a conversation I was having with a friend and brother over the weekend. So, we are all newcomers in Canada. So when we meet, we normally talk about what's happening, what's your status, what's happening, what are you doing. I want to know what's going on with each other and how best we can all progress. So that was when he drew my attention to some of the costly mistakes his visa agents made in his visa application that he is still paying for. So at this point, a process which should have been very smooth for him, he needs to find a lawyer, and the lawyer is charging so much. A process that would have been very smooth for him if the visa agent had done things right from the beginning is becoming very complicated for him. So we are going to look at some of the mistakes these visa agents can do, and if you really still want to use a visa agent, which should not be the case. I do not know why so many people, especially in Africa, think that they cannot do this without a visa agent. I don't know why. So if you still want to use a visa agent for your visa application, note these things, okay? The very common thing we hear many unscrupulous visa agents do is applying for the wrong visa type. So somebody approaches probably a travel and tour company or something and tells them that, oh, I want to travel to Canada on the student route, and they say okay, and they let you pay for the admission fee and everything, and then the visa comes and you realize that what they did for you is actually a visitor's visa. Or you approach them and you tell them that you want a work visa, and instead of them to tell you that, oh, we cannot do that because these are the requirements you need to meet for that to be done, they accept that they are going to do that for you, charge you and everything, and then you realize that at the end what comes is a visitor's visa, and they tell you that, oh, do not worry. You just need to enter Canada or wherever your destination is. You just need to go there and you'll be able to change your visa from a visitor's visa to a work permit, or probably from a visitor's visa to a study permit. So they give these people false hopes and these false informations, and it really costs them so much, because sometimes these newcomers come and they trusted these people so much, so they are holding on to that information and hoping to be able to change their visa, and then they realize that it is not even possible to do that. So that is one thing, that if you still want a visa agent to help you with your application, then you should let the visa agent know clearly what you want and find out if he can do exactly that for you. Secondly, many people want to travel, but we really do not do any preparations. So imagine somebody who was wanting to travel so bad but does not even have a birth certificate, not to talk of a passport, an international passport, or anything that has to do with travel. But this same individual really wants to travel. Depending on where you are watching this video from, it will surprise you and you might think that, how can someone not have a birth certificate? Well, it is very common in some parts of Africa for people to not have birth certificates, because they really do not need them to do anything unless they want to travel. That is the point, that you really need one. They want to have an international passport. That is the point, that you really need to have a birth certificate to be able to do one. So these people approach agents because they do not have any documents that are needed for the travel application or the visa application, and these agents have to manufacture these documents for their clients. They leave so much on the agent to do. Some of the agents think that, when you are younger, it helps. So at the time of doing your birth certificate for you, they decide to reduce your age, so that probably gives you a higher chance of getting your visa approved. Note that once that is not your original date of birth, there are times that you may forget. And a simple question at the port of entry, that what is your date of birth, may cause trouble for you, because if that is your date of birth, you don't even need to think through what your date of birth is. But once you know that it has been changed, then it becomes difficult for you to keep it in memory. Sometimes they manufacture things like marriage certificates for people, because they think that the marriage, once you are married, marriage certificates, children's birth certificate, because they think that gives you strong ties home. Okay, that gives you strong ties home, because really traveling is about having strong ties to your home country, to show that you are likely to return back to your home country when you travel to wherever you are going. So they look at you, single person wanting to travel, and they realize that the chances of getting that visa approved is slim. So they get you a wife and children that you probably do not even know about. And one thing that I really do not understand is that these visa agents are mostly not transparent with the people they are working with, for whatever reason, because it is one thing misinforming the visa officer, and it is another thing being transparent to the person you are applying for the visa on their behalf. Already you are misinforming, because the details you are putting there, the person cannot even identify what the details you are putting there. Secondly, you do not come out transparently for this person to know that these are even the details you are using for the visa application. They do not use your email address, so that correspondence will be between themselves and the embassy or wherever, and they only get back to this individual after the visa probably has been approved or denied to let you know the outcome of your visa application. They use a whole lot of documents without letting you know the details of these documents. And this really, at the initial stages, you may not see the harm this may cause, but once these documents or details are already entered in the visa application portal or whatever, it stays with immigration, such that after you have traveled, if you succeed in going through the port of entry, because the port of entry as one area that can get you in trouble if you do not know the details of the applications you put in. A simple question like, what is your wife's name? Get people deported because perhaps they are not even married. So when the border service agents ask, what is your wife's name? They are confused. Did the guy give me a wife? Or the border service agent is just trying to pull a fast one on me? They do not know what to say, because most of these visa agents are not very transparent and let you know all the details they use for these visa application. What is the name of your second child? Perhaps this person has no child, so they don't know whether they should say, oh, I have no child, because they are not sure. What if the visa agent put manufactured some children for me, So yes, all these things come as very costly mistakes. Business certificates, property documents. I mean, if you do not have all of these and you want to travel, you should know that the visa agent or whoever is putting in the application on your behalf needs them. So if you want to travel and you do not have all of these, then you have left so much room for the visa agent to do so many things on your application on their own. You have no bank statement, you have no property document, you have no business certificate, you have no birth certificate, you have no passport, you have nothing at all, but you just want to travel. They have to come out with these documents some way, somehow, because without them, the probability of you getting your visa is very minimal. That is why I always advise that, listen, visa application is not something you get up and you just do. It is something you prepare for, okay? It is something you want to know what it entails and prepare for it. You want to know what it entails and prepare for it. I, in one of my videos, told you how I had to put my visa application on hold when I realized that there was a problem with my bank statement, and the way I was doing it was not the way the visa application center wanted. When I learned that, I had to hold on and do everything all over again for about 4 months before I finally put in my application. So you need to understand what the embassy is looking out for, and you work towards that. Many of us in Africa have small businesses, but we do not have business certificates. So how is the visa agent or how is the visa officer supposed to know that you have a business whilst you do not have a business certificate? So you leave it for this visa agent, and they manufacture one business for you. Perhaps you don't even need that because you have your business on your own. You get it? So if you had a business certificate, they wouldn't need to do one for you. And then you get to the port of entry and then you are asked, what is the name of your business? And you are left wanting because you do not know what the visa agent used. You don't even know that the visa agent put any business certificate there because he didn't communicate all this to you. And this can get you deported for misinformation at the port of entry, or even if you are able to get through the port of entry. Since these informations are already with immigration whenever you have to do any process with immigration, it means that there is going to be fire on the mountain, because your details are going to be conflicting. Guys, your details are going to be conflicting. So let's say you have come to school, after school you are supposed to, in Canada, after school you apply for postgraduate work permit, and you are trying to probably use one of the available pathways to apply for permanent residency, and all these details come up again. You have to fill them and you do not know what to do, because you are the same person, so the information you give have to be in line with what you gave at the beginning, and now you do not know what to do, and you need to find an immigration lawyer. You need to pay so much for them to try to find out, because most of these visa agents do not even give you access to the portal. They do not give you access to the visa application portal for whatever reasons I do not know, but they do not give you access to this portal. So theirs is just to get you the visa, and perhaps at that point you think that is all there is to it. It is later that you realize that you need these documents to be able to process further important documents, and these things are very common occurrences. It will get to the point you call him and you will not even get, because you've already traveled. He is not within reach. So you call him, oh, my immigration lawyer says I needed this document, and he tells you, I'm sorry, I don't even remember, because they do so many applications for so many people. They use different emails and different passwords for so many people. These documents, they may not be able to trace you. So it is very prudent that when you are using visa agents for visa application, do not leave them to do everything on their own. Work with them. Try to get them these documents yourself. Don't leave them to manufacture these things for you. Later you realize that it is costing you so much. Yes, you have traveled, but then you are not able to process other documents that you are supposed to have been able to process it smoothly because of these initial things that you overlooked. This is just a way of drawing our attention to some of these things, let you know that, like I said from the beginning, getting the visa is just the beginning of the entire long process, especially if you are not just visiting and going back. Getting the visa is just the beginning of the process. So it is not the end, it is the beginning. So you want to make sure that after getting the visa, the documents you used are intact. You have access to them at any point in time. If you are required to produce this document, you are able to produce them. The details that you used are details that you can identify with, so that when you are asked, are you married, you know confidently that yes, you are married, or no, you are not married. If you are asked, what is the name of your second child, you can confidently say, I have no children. Or if you do, then you mention the name of your second child. If you are asked for your bank statement at the port of entry, are you sure you'd be able to provide a bank statement? Because you did not give any bank statement to this guy to process the application for you. He had to find some for you. And because probably it is somebody's personal something, he is not able to let you have it. Let us take our time to do these things and have them right when we want to travel. It makes things very smooth for us, and it doesn't bring any future challenges. It will surprise you. You have no idea how much people are paying immigration lawyers in the West to try to right these little mistakes they ignored from the beginning. And I am sure that if they knew that these things will come up again, they would have tried to do it right from the beginning, to avoid this cost. That is just by way of information and letting us all know how costly some of these mistakes can be, okay, in order to keep us on our feet and try to do things the right way. Like I always say, the shortest route to any destination, that's the right way. Thank you so much for staying with me till this time of the video. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so and be part of this lovely family. Okay, see you in my next video and stay blessed. Bye.